introduce myself.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Eldora Speedway for Week 8 of the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series presented to you by the World of Thunder Esports League. My name is Jacob Reeves. We got Adam Flieger on the controls giving you these awesome camera angles that you will see this evening. And folks, we've had a very, very awesome 7 weeks of competition here for the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series. Last week at Williams Grove, Devin Morgan went out and basically waxed the field, if you will. Blake Majulis won at Williams Grove on the Monday Night Series for the Butt Kicker World of Outlaws Late Model Dirt Series. So those two guys got a lot of momentum coming into this race here this evening. But like I mentioned just a second ago, we are at Eldora, and this track got a lot of history to it, if you will, constructed back in 1954 by Mr. Earl Baltz, and was also purchased in 2004 by the USAC Triple Crown and NASCAR champion Tony Stewart, who has 3 Cup championships to his resume. And Tony Stewart owning this beautiful facility that you see on your screen. Absolutely beautiful, and has had some great races in the past for even the Dirt Million and a bunch of other races. More or less the King's Royal, if I'm not mistaken, also is ran here as well. A lot of prestigious dirt races that have been run here at Eldora, and these guys gonna see if they can take on this half-mile dirt oval. We'll see who will be in the feature here tonight. It'll be a 50-lap feature. Gonna be a couple of heat races that will be following right here. But we're gonna go ahead and get this lined up, get some cars out on the track. Car on your screen right here is Chase Barbara. Chase Barbara looking pretty good right now in the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series standings. Coming into tonight, second in the points, 29 behind point leader Devin Morgan. Morgan, as I mentioned, really showed them how to do it last week at Williams Grove. You see the points there on your screen. Logan Rumsey sitting in the 3rd spot with Kendall Tucker, J.D. Brown, Stephen Gaines, Dylan Wilson, Caleb Durgan, James Eddins, and Jaden Anderson. Jaden Anderson, one of those guys that, me personally, folks, didn't really see him being one of these guys up in the top 10. Figured, you know, maybe some other guys would jump up in there with the likes of maybe even Chase Hardy, Matthew Selby, you know, some of those guys, even Evan C. or Blake Majulis, which we will see in competition here this evening. Want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors before we get all this going on. As you see right now, Devin Morgan on top as far as the times. Want to give a quick shout out to some of our sponsors. Tri-City Speed, they're sponsoring the Rookie of the Year for this season. Also, DirtFan.com, another great sponsor that we have here for the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series and for the World of Thunder Esports League. Studio 10 Wraps, another great sponsor that we have for the best looking car out on the racetrack. And folks, I say it every single week. I've said it for the past 7 weeks. I'll say it here in week 8. We got some fantastic looking hot rods going around here at Eldora. So Studio 10 Wraps looking for that best looking car. And they're going to be in for a treat trying to figure out who they want to get picked for this particular race this week. And then obviously Mission 22, for everything that we do, or for everything that they do, we will talk a little bit more about them later on in the broadcast this evening. But right now, Devin Morgan still on top right now for qualifying right now at a 14.673. Jaden Anderson, as I mentioned a while ago, didn't really see him, didn't really expect him to be in the top 10 in points. Guess he's proven me wrong now. Sitting second at a 14.765. Dylan Wilson actually is going to jump him, go to a 14.749, so he'll jump Anderson. So Wilson will be second, Anderson third, J.D. Brown fourth. Chase Barber actually went out very, very early on the racetrack. He will be fifth as of right now. But Evan C., Ethan Toter, some of these drivers coming around getting some laps in right now as they're trying to get everything they can get. Try to get a good starting position, maybe get in a good heat, if you will, for this evening. And see J.D. Brown right there on your screen, getting him some laps in from Bakersfield, California, out on the West Coast, showing them how to do it. And, you know, J.D. Brown looking good here in the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series. Sitting fifth in the points as we speak. Actually, over on Monday nights for the iRacing World of Outlaws Butt Kicker Late Model Series, J.D. Brown sitting 8th in the points in that particular series. And if you're wondering where J.D. Brown finished last Monday night, got him a top 10 Monday night. So J.D. Brown trying to carry off a little bit of momentum, points and finishes, all that good stuff, try to carry himself in to tonight here at Eldora. You see Ryan Underwood on your screen from Elizabeth City. Got that top lane working up there, trying to not jump the cushion, if you will, and get into the fence. Ryan Underwood coming around, getting him some laps in as we are nearing the end of qualifying for this evening. Looks like Devin Morgan right now still has it. J.D. Brown maybe out there taking a couple of extra laps, if you will, some laps that will not be timed, if you will, just trying to get the setup figured out. Some of these guys, even though you do get your first 2 laps are timed, you can stay out there, get some extra laps, try to get that car warmed up, get it lined up, however it is. But qualifying is official this evening. So heat race number 1 ready to rock and roll. And the fastest man here in Rossburg, Ohio, the 112 entry, Devin Morgan, who won last week at Williams Grove, he will be on the front row. See, as you see the drivers right here getting ready to line up, here is your starting lineup for heat race number 1. Devin Morgan, Hayden Cardwell will be on that front row with Colton Zimmer and Matthew Logan in that second row. Trevor Fitz and Caleb Durgan coming into tonight, he will be in that third row with Braden Schatz, Josh Fuller in the fourth row. Keaton Holder, Justin Toll will round out the field here in heat race number 1. As Caleb Durgan just mentioned him just a second ago, coming into tonight 8th in the points for the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series, coming in here at Eldora. So wants to try to keep that top 10 point standings leaving Eldora tonight. And folks, this track, you know, I know we talked a lot about the history of this track, you know, purchased by Tony Stewart, as I mentioned, back in 2004. Tracks was built back in the 1950s, so very, very, I'm not going to say an old facility. Obviously, it's had its upgrades, if you will. But, you know, we've seen a lot of great racing, seen a lot of high-speed racing here at Eldora. And I guarantee you, folks, we're going to see the same exact thing here tonight as we're waiting on that pace truck to get ready to pull off right here. Each heat race that we have here tonight, we're actually going to skip heat race number 6. So only 5 heat races this evening. Each heat race 10 laps apiece. Top 3 will go to the feature. The rest of them will go to B mains to try to get locked in for the feature here tonight. Pace truck is off. Devin Morgan on the gas. Green flag is out here at Eldora. Morgan goes straight to the top of the racetrack right in front of Hayden Cardwell. Cardwell trying to get away from Colton Zimmers. We got a couple of guys getting into the fence. One of them was Caleb Durgan back here in the back. Braden Schatz back here battling with Durgan. Gets into his door. Now Matthew Logan trying to fight off Trevor Fitz. Fitz sitting in fourth trying to find a way to get up in front of Matthew Logan, or maybe go even farther and challenge Colton Zimmer for that final transfer spot, as Morgan looking like he's got that sucker on rails like he did last week at Williams Grove. Got it on rails. Hayden Cardwell back here trying to figure out how he can give chase in any way, shape, fashion, or form, but Colton Zimmer really starting to put the pressure on, trying to get that second spot from Hayden Cardwell. Fitz back here right behind them. All these guys jumping the cushion pretty much, if you will. Slamming it as high as they can, trying to get that extra little bit of grip, if you will. Fastest lane is around the top. So Cardwell all the way up top. Literally in the fences. He's going to go smack dab into the fence. That opens the door down low for Colton Zimmer. Now Cardwell going to try to pull the slider on Zimmer. Makes it work. So no harm, no foul. They're right back where they was at. But Zimmer not going to give up the battle. Nothing changing for the first spot except for the intervals, as Morgan checks out 0.2 of a second more. So put it at 1.3 seconds over Hayden Cardwell and Colton Zimmer. As here comes Durgan fighting down hard on the bottom with Trevor Fitz to the top, trying to go even farther and try to get that third transfer spot from Colton Zimmer. Matthew Logan right behind Durgan as well, just laying in the weeds waiting on something to happen. But if Fitz wants something, if he wants to make the feature, he's got to do it right here and now. As Hayden Cardwell back slapping into the fence. Zimmer back here just trying to hold on for the third spot. As they take the white flag, Morgan got a huge gap. Zimmer's going to pull the slider right up in front of Hayden Cardwell. Cardwell back down to the bottom. Here comes Fitz. What will Fitz do as he goes down to the bottom, almost turns Zimmer, and that may open the door for Caleb Durgan on the bottom. Caleb Durgan, out of nowhere from 5th to 3rd, will get Colton Zimmer at the line. Wow. Awesome, awesome finish right here. Heat race number 1, Caleb Durgan, 6th to 3rd. Your official results for heat race number 1, Devin Morgan, Hayden Cardwell, Caleb Durgan will get that final transfer spot along with Colton Zimmer. He'll be 4th. He'll have to go to a B main, as well as Trevor Fitz finishing 5th will have to go as well. Matthew Logan 6th, Josh Fuller 7th, Justin Toll 8th, Braden Schatz 9th, Keaton Holder will be 10th. All these guys will be going to a B main, which we will see later on this evening. Heat race number 2 coming up. Got Dylan Wilson in this bad boy. He's going to be on the front row with James Eddins. Remember, James Eddins coming 9th in the points here tonight. But he'll be on the front row for heat race number 2. Colton Herbert and Desmond Busby will be right behind them. Scout Neff, who I believe I put a little bit of a commentator's curse on him last week. Really thought Scout was going to show him how to do it at Williams Grove. Wasn't able to get it done. He'll start 5th right beside Jordan Casey in 6th. Tanner Tomasi in 7th. Scott Smith will be 8th. Bailey Dutton 9th. Jonathan Adkins will round out the 10-car field here in heat race number 2. Race director trying to get everybody lined up as we're getting ready for that pace truck to pull off the speedway. Leave the field in the hands of Dylan Wilson. Get heat race number 2 going. And folks, I'm telling you right now, this 50-lap feature that we're going to have tonight, it's going to be a blast to watch it along with you, the dirt racing family, watching us tonight on Ultimate Dirt TV as the green flag is in the air. Wilson gets away. Eddins able to clear himself. He's going to be running on the bottom and maybe even try to go further. May try to go around Wilson for the lead right here as Eddins pulls the slider all the way to the fence, gets into the fence. Wilson's going to get by him. Colton Herbert is going to get by him, and now Eddins in a side-by-side battle with Busby as we got a big wreck in the back. That's going to involve Scott Smith and I believe Bailey Dutton, or Ryan Underwood, one of those guys involved as well. Huge wreck back here in the back, a lot of fighting and banging. That was Jordan Casey, that gets caught up in this right here. Casey down on the bottom. Wow. Hard impact right there by Scott Smith. Smith down on the bottom, tried to go as low as he could. That wall just kind of jumped out and bit him, if you will. Nowhere for him to go, so it looks like Scott Smith gonna be a little bit damaged right here. Casey gonna have to go to the pits, get that car fixed. But we will see him later in a B main. So remember, folks, 10 laps, top 3 will transfer. 10 laps or 10 minutes, whichever one comes first. We ran into that problem a little bit for one of the heat races back at Knoxville. That was very, very crazy how that all turned out right there. Something that we wasn't really expecting, if you will. With the time that came out, we really wasn't even thinking about it at the time. We were just so caught up in the racing. Me and producer Brett called that race. We just flabbergasted, I guess, if you will. It just came out of nowhere and ended by the time. But it is possible, like I said, it has happened before. It is possible that these races can end on the time limit. But hopefully we do not get to that. Hopefully we see a white flag and a checkered flag. As pace truck pulls off, Wilson on the gas, got Herbert right up his back bumper. Eddins already in a side-by-side battle with Desmond Busby. Tomasi's going to run the top. Busby tried to make a last-ditch effort to the bottom, was not able to make it work, and now Tomasi's going to go around him, take that 4th spot and set his sights on James Eddins right in front of him. Busby back here trying to hold off Scout Neff. Neff trying to see if he can close in, get a little bit better starting spot for his B main. As you see him coming at you right here, folks, listen to this. Hard racing right there by the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series here at Eldora. These guys really putting on a show right here. Dylan Wilson's opened up to about half a second over James Eddins. Colton Herbert's still 3rd. Tanner Tomasi right behind him. Busby trying to find a way to try to get around Tomasi. As these guys really starting to push the envelope. How much higher can you go? That old song, how low can you go? It is how high can you go here at Eldora. As Busby's the only one trying to run the middle of the racetrack through 1 and 2. See if he can try to find a way around Tomasi. And then maybe, just maybe, get to Colton Herbert and try to ruin it, I guess you could say, just like what happened to Colton Zimmer in heat race number 1. As here comes Tomasi. Tomasi trying down on the bottom, almost got to Colton Herbert's door. Now here comes Busby. Busby down on the bottom, tries to make a shot. White flag in the air down the backstretch. Tomasi's going to get one final ditch effort. Going to slide up in front of Herbert if he can make it work. It's not going to be enough. Beating, banging at doors to the line. Colton Herbert's going to get it. Wow. Colton Herbert gets it by 2/100ths of a second over Tanner Tomasi. I mean, Tomasi threw it in there. He sent it, tried to make it stick, tried to make it work. Hats off to him for driving and trying. Wasn't able to do it, but Dylan Wilson will get the win. James Eden second. Colton Herbert barely squeaks out third to transfer to the feature Tanner Tomasi. Desmond Busby round out the top 5. With Scout Neff in 6th, Bailey Dutton 7th, Jonathan Atkins 8th, Scott Smith 9th, and Jordan Casey having that unfortunate accident with Scott Smith earlier. He finishes in 10th. He will be in the B main later this evening. Coming into tonight, 10th in the points for the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series, Jaden Anderson. He'll be on the front row here, right here for heat race number 3. Howard Weaver to his outside. Evan C., check him out. Leading in the points for the World of Outlaws Butt Kicker Late Model Dirt Series on Monday nights. He'll roll off third with Diesel Jones. Not to mention Evan C. finished second last week at Williams Grove. Ryan Underwood 5th, with Ben Cowdermarsh will be 6th. Anthony Thompson 7th, Peyton White 8th, Cam Harris 9th, Nicholas McDougall in 10th. So Evan C. really needing a good run here this evening. Hadn't really done a lot, I guess you could say, on Sunday nights, as bad as I got to say it. But he's done a lot on Monday nights. He uses these races basically as a warm-up for the Monday night series, but we would sure love to see Evan C. put together a good race and a good evening here tonight and have something for him. As the pace truck is off, Jaden Anderson on the gas, and he is gone. Howard Weaver still up there on the top side as Evan C. trying to hold off Diesel Jones. Jones jumps back, tries to find a way around him as Underwood right behind Evan C. Now Jones goes down to the bottom, but Underwood going to be able to hold off that 4th spot right now from Diesel Jones as he's going to set his sights on Evan C. for that final transfer spot. Weaver down to the bottom, going to try to pull the slider, will not be able to make it work. Anderson around the top side, he's going to bring Evan C. to the top with him, and C. really starting to make that top work, may even go farther. Here he goes for the lead here in heat race number 3. Evan C. trying to make it work, but he's not going to be able to make it done as he's going to have to fall back in line behind Anderson. Big fight right here behind him, with Howard Weaver trying to hold on to that 3rd spot as Diesel Jones, Ryan Underwood really putting up a fight for that 3rd spot. Underwood all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, going to see if he can pull the slider. Not able to get it done. Weaver hugs the wall, goes right straight around him. Weaver still has that 3rd spot as C puts a diver on Anderson, tries to make it stick. It does not. Anderson will hold it as we are halfway in heat race number 3. C back down to the bottom, almost gets into the inside retaining wall, but is enough to pull the slider on Anderson. C and Anderson, C led that lap by 0.003 of a second. Wow, tight racing for these leaders, putting on a show for you, the dirt fans, here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series, putting it on here at Eldora. As C has the lead, but for how long will Anderson get back to it? And that battle for the transfer spot still heating up as Ryan Underwood right behind Howard Weaver. Underwood just trying to get ever so close to him and maybe be able to pull the slider. Weaver gets in the fence just a little bit. Here comes Underwood. on the top. And Underwood is going to keep it up there, but he's not going to make it work. Not able to do it, but white flag is in the air. Underwood gets one ditch. He does not be able to make it. That might have been all she wrote for heat race number 3 as Evan C starts to pull away even more. Heat race number 3, your winner, Evan C in the number 33 entry. Jaden Anderson gets second, and Howard Weaver will transfer to the feature in third. Awesome race in heat race number 3. C gets the win. Anderson second, Howard Weaver third. Ryan Underwood threw everything he could at Howard Weaver, was not able to make it work, but he will get fourth with Anthony Thompson in fifth. Diesel Jones sixth. Ben Cowdermarsh will be seventh with Peyton White eighth. Nicholas McDougall ninth. Cam Harris rounding out the top 10. Heat race number 4, folks. This right here is going to be a barn burner. We got 2 guys on the front row that have done a lot in the dirt late model racing community on iRacing. J.D. Brown right here. Just talked about him a while ago. 8th in the World of Outlaw Butt Kicker late model series, and 5th coming into tonight. He will be on the front row with the myth, the man, the myth, the legend, Blake Majulis on his outside. Robbie Buchanan Jr., Ethan Toder, 3rd and 4th. Chase Hardy will be 5th with Tucker Elkins in 6th. Dylan Hauser's 7th. Bob Klein to his outside in 8th. Nathan Brown and Willie Howless will round out the 10 drivers in the field right here for heat race number 4. We're ready to rock and roll. There's a couple of guys out here throwing in the clutch, if you will, and revving up that engine, trying to get it ready to rock and roll right here for heat race number 4. So we'll see what happens here. Pace truck getting ready to pull off. Lead the field in the hands of J.D. Brown and Blake Majulis on this front row. Is Brown on the gas, Majulis up top. Green flag is in the air. Brown all the way to the top. Majulis down to the bottom, pulls the slider. And Majulis, who won last week, Monday night at Williams Grove, really has some momentum coming into tonight as we've got a crash in the back. Robert Buchanan Jr. involved. Ethan Toder, I believe, was one of those that was involved as well. A bunch of cars stacked up, but we still have green flag in the air, still rolling as Brown pulls the slider, gets in front of Majulis. And Majulis and Brown fighting very, very hard right now for the lead here at heat race number 4. But Brown's going to have the advantage, get in front of him. Majulis all the way down to the inside wall. And nothing going as the advantage will go to the top with Brown, as Brown diamonding the corners, if you will, all the way down to the bottom, slides all the way up to the wall. Gives him a little bit of separation from Majulis as the battle for third is on with Tucker Elkins, Dylan Hauser, and Ethan Toder, all 3 vying for one spot. That being occupied by Tucker Elkins. A couple of guys getting slammed into the wall. Chase Hardy, who we've seen run into the walls, he's going to get into the wall. Robbie Buchanan Jr. is involved. Bob Klein's also involved, and we have a caution on the speedway. Big crash, took 3 drivers right there. Wow. Chase Hardy, he was the one that started all of it from what I saw. This was after the fact right here. This was 2 separate incidents right here, folks. As Hardy looked like his throttle hung just a little bit driving in. Wasn't able to get it to stick. Buchanan comes in, Klein comes in. Buchanan went for a 360 and kept on going. But there was a second incident on the backstretch that, folks, to be honest with you, we didn't even catch until just our cameras. Thank you to Adam Flieger for catching that camera angle for us right there. Awesome work. Wow, I mean, big turnaround right there, if you will. Like Willie House, Nathan Brown, two of those guys that got involved in that accident right there. But back under caution right here at the halfway point. So J.D. Brown will be up front. Blake Majulis right beside of him. Should they go double file right here. Elkins and Hauser right behind them in that second row. Pace truck lights is out. So they're going to double it up right here. Wait for that pace truck to pull off. Pace truck is pulling off. Brown on the gas. Majulis going to be right behind him. And Elkins down on the bottom is going to block that advance that Majulis was able to get earlier. But nothing going, as now Elkins is under fire from Dylan Hauser up top. Elkins able to slide up just a little bit, jumps right in front of Hauser. Hauser down to the bottom, slides it straight up in front of Tucker Elkins. These two guys beat fenders, door one another going into turn number 3 as Hauser slips back just a little bit. Tucker Elkins going to be under fire from two other guys as here comes Ethan Toder in the 29 entry trying to go for third as the battle up front. J.D. Brown and Blake Majulis still swapping it out, basically throwing sliders at one another with 2 laps to go. Don't know really which battle to look at as there's so much going on. Toder gets in front of Hauser. Toder all the way to the back. Hauser now battling it out with Tucker Elkins coming to the white flag. Hauser all the way to the top. Elkins going to pull the slider, goes all the way to the fence. Hauser back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Hauser's going to get turned on the backstretch. Will open the door for Ethan Toder, but up front, J.D. Brown wins heat race number 4. Blake Majulis gets second, and Toder gets by Elkins, and Hauser getting spun around right there a little bit. Wow, what a race. What a finish right there. So much going on, folks. That's why we love dirt racing in the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series. J.D. Brown winning heat race number 4. Blake Majulis second, Ethan Toder third. Those 3 will go to the feature. Tucker Elkins, Bob Klein, 4th and 5th. Willie House, good run for him, 10th all the way to 6th. Nathan Brown finishes 7th. Dylan Hauser, who was looking pretty good right there, looked like he was going to be able to transfer on. Sad to say he's going to be back to 8th. Robbie Buchanan Jr., tough luck for him, started 3rd in heat race number 5. He will finish 9th. And Chase Hardy in 10th. Heat race number 5 is coming up, folks. So we already have them out on the racetrack, getting them ready to rock and roll. Chase Barbara. Man, what a season Mr. Barbara has had here in the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series, coming into tonight second in the points. Kendall Tucker will start to his outside. Kendall Tucker coming in 4th in the points this evening. Nick Baum going to be right behind him in 3rd with Stephen Gaines in 4th. Matthew Selby, the Bulldog, will start 5th with Brandon Barnhart in 6th. Kyle Carter 7th. Tyson Ulicki will be 8th. Hunter Lagoons 9th. And James Starry, we've seen some great runs out of this 174 entry of James Starry. He's going to have to make another great run if he wants to be able to make it to the feature, starting last here in heat race number 5, as this is the last heat race of the evening, folks. As the pace truck has pulled off, Barbara on the gas, Tucker up top. And Barbara is gone, trying to check out. Tucker right behind him. Baum tried to slide it in there, maybe even try to slide up in front of Tucker, not able to do it. Up top, Stephen Gaines trying to find a way to try to get around Baum as Baum's going to pull the slider. Gaines tries to go back down to the bottom. Gaines all the way to the bottom is going to slide it right back up in front of Baum, or will he? Baum in the wall. Gaines able to get by him, and it stacks everybody up as here comes the Bulldog, Matthew Selby, for 4th. Selby up top, got Baum right behind him. Baum back down to the bottom, going to pull the slider on Selby. Selby ducks up under, slides right by him, as there is crazy chaos going on back here in the back. The 14, that's Kyle Carter that got stuck in the fence. jammed up right there in front of Brandon Barnhart, but up front, Barbara has checked out to almost a second lead over Tucker. Gaines still has third. Selby still riding in fourth. Baum trying every little bit he can to try to get to Selby and get that fourth spot. Halfway point coming right here, folks. Halfway to heat race number 5 finish. Starry started 10th up to 6th. How much farther will he be able to go? As it looks like everybody all over the top lane as Barbara clicks down another lap, leads another one. Tucker still second, Gaines third, Matthew Selby fourth, Baum still trying to get to him in fifth. A lot of hard racing going on. Brandon Barnhart all the way down to the bottom gets into the inside wall trying to find a way around Kyle Carter back here in the back. But Carter able to get by him. That's the battle for 8th on the field. As up front, Barbara making it look really easy getting around Eldora. Folks, let me tell you, it's not an easy track to get around. I know, I have done it. Barbara coming to the white flag. Tucker right behind him. Gaines looks like he's got it lined up for that third spot. Selby is going to have to really send it right here if he wants any shot at trying to make the feature here tonight. Up front, Barbara all the way to the top. Tucker tried to make a run down low, not able to do it. Barbara gets the win. Tucker second, Gaines third. Matthew Selby had a last-ditch effort going into turn 3 and 4, not able to do it. Selby gets fourth, and Nick Baum rounds out the top 5. So Barbara gets the win. And in dominating fashion, Tucker right behind him. He'll get second, Gaines third. Those three will go to the feature. Selby fourth, Nick Baum fifth. James Starry, like I said, good run for him. Started 10th up to 6th. That'll help him out a little bit. Tyson Ulicki, 7th. Kyle Carter, 8th. Brandon Barnhart, 9th. Hunter Lagoons will get 10th. B main number 1, folks, coming up. Top 3 from the LCQ will transfer on to the feature tonight. And up front, in B main number 1, Colton Zimmer. He is going to be the man that's going to lead them to the green. Here in B main number 1, Colton Zimmer, Tucker Elkins to his outside. Desmond Busby 3rd, Nick Baum will be 4th. Deeser Jones 5th, Josh Fuller 6th, Nathan Brown 7th, Jonathan Atkins 8th, Kyle Carter 9th. Nicholas McDougal will be 10th, and Keaton Holder will round out the field. And folks, you know, Colton Zimmer right here, I hated it for him right there in that first heat race. I mean, he had a good shot, a very good shot. Started 3rd, finished 4th, one spot outside of what he needed, obviously, to get transferred into the feature. But just a little bit of bumper tagging, nothing out of the ordinary, I guess you could say, for dirt racing and short track racing. Just a little bit of a bumping doors, bumping fenders, whatever. That's what we'd love to see for short track racing in general. Got snookered out of it, but he's going to try to get it all back right here as the pace truck getting ready to pull off. Zimmer on the gas, Elkins up top, and green flag is out. Zimmer all the way to the top now. Gets up in front of Elkins. Here comes Busby. Remember, top 3 in LCQ, 12 laps apiece in the B mains. This top 3 will go to the feature. Zimmer got him locked in up top. Elkins right behind him. Here comes Nick Baum. We saw him in that last heat race. Put it on him, if you will. All the way down to the bottom. Now tries to slide up. Now he's in the transfer spot, but here comes Busby. Here comes Busby in the 82 down to the bottom, trying to make it work. See if he can get that 3rd and final transfer spot for B main number 1. Zimmer, Elkins trying to pull away. Baum still holds on to it as Busby throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Nick Baum. Battling going on back in the back as Fuller and Diesel Jones battles it out. Josh Fuller, that is. As Jones pulls the slider, he jumps up in front of Fuller. And not too far behind him, Jonathan Atkins has moved up one spot, 8th to 7th, right behind these guys. Baum still trying to hold on to that 3rd spot. Busby really starting to put the pressure on him. And now Baum's starting to put the pressure on Elkins as Baum's going to go all the way to the bottom. Jump straight all the way to the top. Leave Elkins down on the bottom as Elkins going to pull a slider of his own and maybe even pull Busby right past Nick Baum as they're going to go 3 wide down the front stretch here at Eldora. Baum's going to slide up. Busby tries to slide up the best he can. Elkins back straight through the middle. This is all what Colton Zimmer needs to see, is these guys battling it out for that 2nd spot, knowing Zimmer is going to be in prime position to make it to the feature as Baum throws another huge slider, slides straight up in front of Elkins. Elkins back down to the bottom, rubbing doors going into turn number 3 right in front of Desmond Busby. Baum will get 2nd for now. Busby up top will get around Elkins. You know, Busby's got to be thinking, even though I've got the 3rd spot, I might want to get one more because he knows Tucker Elkins has got a horse up under him in that 87 entry here this evening. Baum still holding on to 2nd. Zimmer really starting to put it on him, starting to pull away as Busby's going to pull the slider and get 2nd. Here comes Baum, may try to battle back hard for that 2nd spot. Nothing doing. Here they come, 2 to go at this time. They come back around, it'll be the white flag. We'll see if Tucker Elkins can slide straight into the feature here this evening as Busby starts to pull away and hold on to that 2nd spot. Zimmer down the backstretch into turn 3. Zimmer got a very comfortable shot. Baum's going to get one last ditch effort, and it might not be enough as it's not going to be enough, but Zimmer will get the win. Busby 2nd. Baum barely holds on to 3rd as Elkins made a huge charge in 3 and 4 to get to him. Not enough. So Zimmer gets the wins. Busby will get 2nd. Baum 3rd. Those 3 will go to the feature here this evening. Tucker Elkins, Diesel Jones 4th and 5th respectively. Josh Fuller, Kyle Carter 5th and 6th. Or excuse me, Kyle Carter 7th, Josh Fuller 6th, Jonathan Atkins 8th, Nathan Brown, Keaton Holder 9th, Nicholas McDougall 10th. So that was B main number 1, folks. We saw a lot of crazy sliders, if you will. I'm sure we'll see a lot more coming up later on this evening. Might even see it here in B main number 2. Tanner Tomasi will lead them to the green here in heat race, in B main number 2. Tanner Tomasi and the Bulldog. Matthew Selby on the front row. Anthony Thompson will be 3rd with Matthew Logan in 4th. Willie House and Bailey Dutton right behind him in that 3rd row. Tyson Ulicki in the 74 entry, he will start 7th with Peyton White to his outside in 8th. Braden Schatz and Robbie Buchanan Jr. Very uncommon to see Robbie Buchanan Jr. this far back. Got caught up in an accident in heat race number 4 that put him back here in this position. He will start 10th here in B main number 2. Jordan Casey, also one of those guys you usually see up front, but he will start 11th. Chase Hardy, really one of those guys big time you would see up front battling hard for the lead, or even in a transfer spot, he will start 12th. So 3 big names back here at the back, a couple of big names up at the front. Going to be really, really crazy B main number 2 right here, folks. Pace truck getting ready to pull off. Leave them in the hands of Tanner Tomasi. As green flag is in the air, Tomasi on the gas. Gets a good jump over Selby. Selby right behind him. Trying to work this top lane, and we got a side-by-side battle with Matthew Logan, Anthony Thompson. Thompson down to the bottom, may even try to pull the slider, not able to do it. Logan able to fill the hole back up to the top as Thompson's going to have to fall back in line. Bailey Dutton and Willie Hallis make a little contact off of turn number 2. Robbie Buchanan Jr. back here around the Willie House Peyton White area as he's trying to find his way through the field. Hardy back here with him, trying to find a way as well. Up front, Tomasi still has the lead. Selby trying to find a way, if any way, to try to get around Tomasi as Logan still following suit on the top side. Here comes the Bulldog, down to the bottom. Tries to make it stick, is not able to do it, slides right up, gets into Matthew Logan. Logan tags him a little bit in the left rear. Logan down to the bottom, Selby back up top, and may even pull Anthony Thomas with him as Logan and Thompson make a little contact going into turn number 3. That's going to open the door for Bailey Dutton. Dutton gets into Thomas and almost gets spun. Hard racing here at Eldora, folks. These guys really starting to put the pressure on, if you will. Tomasi still has it. Selby still has second. Logan still has third. Thompson not too far back in that 4th spot as we have a caution. Hold the phone, folks. We have a caution on the speedway. We're going to try and look and see who was the cause of the caution. Wow. Straight up turned around into a 360, maybe even a 540, if you will. That looked like Robbie Buchanan Jr. made a little contact right there. Maybe that was Chase Hardy getting somebody turned around right there. That'll send them to the back of the field. We're getting word that was the 99 of Chase Hardy. Was the one that got back into the back of that driver, spun him around. So Hardy will get EOL, get sent to the back right here, but up front, it's still Tanner Tomasi with Matthew Selby, Matthew Logan. Got 2 Matthews up here inside the top 3. Anthony Thompson wants to be able to split them any way he can, whether that be get around Selby or Logan, whichever the case may be. Thompson needs one more spot to make the feature here this evening. And Thompson's put on a hell of a show this evening. We'll see if he's able to do it. Pace truck getting ready to pull off as these guys hit the back stretch. Everybody's going to get doubled up right here. So Tomasi, Selby, Logan, Thompson, and Robbie Buchanan Jr. That's your top 5. Dutton, Howells, Peyton White, Hassan Ulicki, and Chase Hardy. That's the top 10 as we are waiting. Green flag in the air. A little bit of a late start, if you will, for Tomasi. Trying to hold everybody at bay the best that he possibly can. As here comes the Bulldog down to the bottom. Going to pull the slider in 3 and 4. Bulldog all the way to the top. Tomasi has to get out of the gas. Meanwhile, right behind them, Logan and Howells back here battling it out. Logan gets into Howells. Howells gets into Thompson as Thompson slips sliding back. Was 4th, now back to 6th. Thompson really going to have to fight real hard to get back to the top 3. Tomasi jumps down to the bottom. Selby tries to find her way around him on the bottom. So Tomasi back up top. Selby down on the bottom. Buchanan Jr. back here fighting it out with Logan for that final transfer spot. Logan pulls the slider straight up into the fence. Buchanan able to get by, and both of them make a little contact going into turn number 3. Buchanan able to sneak by. Logan back down to the bottom. As white flag is in the air, Buchanan's going to have one more shot right here at Logan if he wants him. He's got him in position up front. Selby, Tomasi. Selby tries to slide up, not enough. Door banging at the line. Folks, that's too close to call right there for the win, but timing and scoring will give it to Matthew Selby. Selby gets it by 1/100th of a second. That's how tight that was over Tanner Tomasi. Robbie Buchanan Jr. able to hold on to that 3rd spot from Matthew Logan. So Selby, Tomasi, and Buchanan Jr., the top three, they will transfer on to the feature. Matthew Logan, Willie House, Tyson Ulicki, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Peyton White, Bailey Dutton, Braden Schatz, and Anthony Thompson will be 10th. Chase Hardy and Jordan Casey, 11th and 12th. Hate to see that for Anthony Thompson. Thompson up there was in prime position to have a shot to try to make a feature here this evening. B-main number 3 coming up, folks. Ryan Underwood will lead them to the green flag. Trevor Fitz will start to his outside. Bob Klein, Scout and F, 3rd and 4th. James Starry will be 5th with Ben Cowdermarsh in 6th. Justin Toll and Dylan Hauser, 7th and 8th. Scott Smith in 9th. Brandon Barnhart will be in that 10th spot. Cam Harris, Hunter Lagoons, 11th and 12th. And I know Scout Neff, he's got to be sitting there thinking, just don't talk good about me this week. I was doing good. You talked good about me last week, just leave me alone. Okay, well, Scout Neff, I will answer your prayers. Good luck and have a good race. That's all I'm going to say. But everybody knows what I'm thinking. Everybody knows what I'm thinking. Ryan Underwood going to lead them to the green. Trevor Fitz on the outside. So we'll see what happens for the 46 entry and the 28 entry on the front row. Waiting for the pace truck to pull off. As they are waiting. Pace truck is off, and they are in the hands of Mr. Underwood. As Underwood on the gas. Fitz all the way to the top. Here comes Bob Klein. Here comes Scout Neff. Everybody charging really hard for that second spot. That's going to allow Ryan Underwood to get away just a little bit. Klein and Fitz battling it out for that second spot. Scout Neff wants it. He's got to go through Bob Klein to get it, as we got a caution on the speedway. Justin Toll, one of those guys that got spun around. It was a madhouse dogfight coming off turn 4. They were looking 4 wide across the stripe. As Justin Toll looked like he slid up in front of James Starry and got spun around. We'll get it on the instant replay. Look at this, folks. 4 wide right there for just a split second. Then they stuck 3 wide. Toll all the way down to the bottom. Starry, nowhere for him to go. Straight into him, tags him, both of them go around. So we're getting ready for a restart. Pace lights is out on the pace truck. Underwood still has the lead. Trevor Fitz second. Bob Klein holding on to that final transfer spot. Scout Neff wants to get that transfer spot. He'll be 4th with Ben Cowdermarsh in 5th. Starry's going to have to go to the back for getting caught up in that accident, as the pace truck is off and the green flag is out. Underwood getting a great jump on the field. Leaves Trevor Fitz, Bob Klein in the dust. Literally in the dust. As we have another caution on the speedway. And this is a big pileup back here in the back. This is going to involve Justin Toll once again. James Starry able to sneak past it, as he actually got tagged and got spun as well. All of this happened. Basically, there was 3 wrecks going on in 1 lap. There was some wrecks that happened in the first turn. Barnhart gets into Starry, spins him almost around. Then you had another incident come through, and then a 525 comes through and nails Barnhart. So huge turn of events all the way down the back straightaway. Remember, folks, 12 laps or 10 minutes, whichever one comes first. Do believe we'll get the 12 laps in. Won't have to worry about the 10 minutes. And remember, the top 3 will transfer to the feature here this evening. Right after this B main, they'll get a warm-up session, then a 50-lap feature to end the festivities here this evening. So Ryan Underwood still has the lead. Fitz second, Bob Klein third. Nothing changed before the caution came out, so everybody pretty much holds steady at where they was at. Pace truck lights is out. We're going single file right here, folks. So Ryan Underwood has the lead. Can he hold on to it? As we're coming to 9 laps to go here in the final B main of the evening. Underwood gets a great jump over Fitz and Klein. Klein right now is just hoping to hold on to the spot that he has. Scout Neff going to go down to the bottom. He's going to pull the slider straight up in front of Klein, not able to do it. Klein's going to battle back hard on the top. Now Scout going to do it once again down to the bottom. Maybe see if he can go a little further. Not able to do it, but Klein, you know, he saw that in his mirror, knows that Scout is not afraid to do it. We're coming down to crunch time right here, folks, to get into the feature tonight. For the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series feature at Eldora. Last chance for these guys to make it. And Dylan Hauser has slid up into this battle, started 8th, now 5th, with 5 laps to go. Klein still holding on to the 3rd spot. Neff right behind him. Nothing changed between 1 and 2 as Underwood and Fitz still holding their spots respectively. Now here comes Hauser all the way to the top, slides straight up in front of Scout Neff. They make contact. Neff now dooring one another going in as Neff almost gets turned into the fence by Hauser. So bump Hauser up to 4th. And that might be all she wrote, barring a caution coming out on the speedway, as the top 3 have separated themselves big time from the rest of the field. 2 to go. Underwood starting to put a little bit of space between him and Fitz, and just as soon as I say that, caution is on the speedway. Caution on the speedway. Gonna see if we can get a look, see what happened right here. I believe Mr. Starry got involved in this one, I believe. Wow, straight in the fence. So hard contact for James Starry, as Starry will be in the pits. That's going to lead us to a green-white checkered right here, folks. And as soon as I said that about the time limit, if somehow or another we was to have another caution here, that might do it. So that was the caution that Hauser needed to be able to get back up here with Bob Klein and the rest of the field. But if they're going to go, they have got to go, and they've got to go now. This pace truck lights is off. Truck is in. Underwood on the gas, Fitz right behind him, as crunch time is happening right here at Eldora. Hauser's going to get stuffed into the fence by Countermarsh, both of them beating doors on one another for that 4th spot. As Klein's going to try to go all the way down the bottom, maybe have a battle for Fitz. White flag is in the air. Hauser and Countermarsh still battling very hard for that 4th spot. Here comes Hauser all the way down to the bottom. Jumps straight up the racetrack. Klein goes back down to the bottom. Klein gets turned into the fence, but Klein's still going to get the 3rd spot. And a shower of sparks to end the B main festivities. Bob Klein gets the final transfer spot over Dylan Hauser. So Ryan Underwood wins it. Trevor Fitz gets second. Bob Klein will get the final spot. He'll get third. Hauser and Countermarsh, fourth and fifth. Scott Neff, sixth. Scott Smith will be seventh. Justin Toll, 8th. James Story, 9th. Brandon Barnhart rounds out the top 10 with Hunter Lagoons and Cam Harris, 11th and 12th. So, folks, that's the B main. These guys are going to get a little warm-up session. We're going to step aside, give you folks a quick chance to grab you a bag of potato chips, grab you some popcorn, grab you a cold beverage. Get ready for this 50-lap feature here this evening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's fine. And welcome back, folks, to Eldora for the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series Week 8. As you see some guys getting practice in, looking kind of like a demolition derby over there in turn number 2. Hopefully we do not see that tonight for the 50-lap feature. But folks, as I mentioned, title sponsor for this evening, Mission 22. Want to talk a little bit about them before we get the feature going here tonight. Today, 20 veterans will be lost to suicide. In fact, every day, 20 veterans are lost to suicide in the United States. That makes the war at home more dangerous than all of our combat missions around the world. Mission 22 provides programs for veterans, spouses, ex-spouses, and children of veterans. Mission 22 also provides community and education for veterans and civilians. It also builds national monuments to honor those lost to the war at home. And also, Mission 22 creates awareness through events and social sharing. Go to mission22.com for more info. And folks, Mission 22, great title sponsor for the series. We're happy to have them on board to be the title sponsor for the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series, and everything that they do. The great organization that they are. The stuff that I just said about those guys. Our veterans. They're everything that they do. That way that we can do what we love. That way I can sit here and announce this broadcast tonight. That way Mr. Flieger can do the camera angles that he shows you every single Sunday night. The veterans that allow us to be free, and a community that is 100% behind giving back to those families. I'm 100% behind everything that they stand for. Also, want to thank the WOTEL Group, the World of Thunder Esports League. Want to thank Brett and Steven for everything that they do for this league, that get us here on Sunday nights and see some of the best dirt racing that you're ever going to see here on Ultimate Dirt TV. But folks, we are getting ready to get this bad boy lined up, get these engines rolling, get these drivers out on the speedways. We got 24 of them that made the feature here tonight, and here they are on the front row. Mr. Devin Morgan won last week at Williams Grove in the 112 entry. He will be starting on the inside. Dylan Wilson will be to his outside in the 80 entry. Evan C. really looking for a good run here on Sunday nights for the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series. He'll be third alongside with J.D. Brown. Chase Barber coming into the night second in the points. Will start fifth with Hayden Cardwell to his outside in sixth. James Eddins Going to be in 7th with Jaden Anderson, top 10 in the points. He will start 8th. The man, the myth, the legend, Blake Majulis will start 9th with Kendall Tucker to his outside. He'll be 10th. Caleb Durgan, another driver, top 10 in the points. Coming into the night, he will be 11th with Colton Herbert in 12th. Howard Weaver, Ethan Toder, 13th and 14th. Stephen Gaines will be 15th with Colton Zimmer in 16th. The Bulldog, Matthew Selby, 17th with Ryan Underwood in 18th. Desmond Busby and Tanner Tomasi rounds out the top 20 with Trevor Fitz, Nick Baum, Robbie Buchanan Jr., and Mr. Bob Klein, the 24 drivers in the field here this evening. And folks, it is going to be a dandy. I can already see it happening. And after the last B main, track prep happened, so we're going to get a good clean track and get these bad boys ready. But folks, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 6.5 years ago, the WOTEL Group was formed. Tonight, the ground pounding Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series wants you to rise to your feet and make some noise as we present to you 4 wide in prime time, live on Ultimate Dirt TV. Beautiful sight right here, folks. Beautiful camera angles by Mr. Flieger, who does so much for the producing of these races. And he's got these guys in the picture. Big time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 50 laps, folks. This is the feature for week 8 here in the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series. Devin Morgan on the front row with Dylan Wilson. Remember, Morgan won last week at Williams Grove. Can he go 2 for 2 here this season and keep that points lead coming into tonight? J.D. Brown, Evan C., they may have something to say about it. I got my eye on that 23 entry of Chase Barbara. Looked very, very good in his heat race. So we'll see if Mr. Barbara can get from 5th, try to get to the front. Pace truck is off. We are green here at Eldora. Morgan down on the bottom. Wilson all the way to the top. C down on the bottom, trying to find a way to get around both of them. Looks like he's going to pull Chase Barber with him on the bottom of the racetrack. J.D. Brown starting to slide to the back just a little bit up on the top side. Evan C. down on the bottom, right up against the wall. Trying to make this bottom line work. As it fans out back there. Look at 3 wide back there around the James Eddins area. All of this battling going on. This is the battle for 5th on your screen. As now Eddins goes up to 4th. Majulis all the way down to the bottom. Almost gets into his door. They're going to go 3 wide, almost 3 wide into turn number 3. Majulis is going to slip back up to the top. Here comes Caleb Durgan down to the bottom. And Wilson, what a heartbreaker for him. Started 2nd, now back to 7th. As well as J.D. Brown started right behind him. Now he's back to 9th. Jaden Anderson started this race 8th. Now he's back to 14th. So we got a bunch of guys dropping through the field. We still got a long race to go, folks. Long, long race to go. As Toder looks like he is the biggest mover right now of the race, 14th to 7th. And the number 29 entry, he's right behind Mr. J.D. Brown. Up front, C and Morgan still battling. As Morgan's going to slip slide, try to jump right up in front of Evan C. Now C back down to the bottom of the racetrack, but don't count out Chase Barbara. The chase is on with Chase Barbara, and a caution is on the speedway. We're going to get a look, see exactly what happened here. Oh, wow, Tucker goes around. Tucker. Big time point implications coming in for this right here. Tucker coming in tonight 4th in the points. It's like somebody drove straight in and just cleaned him out, is what it looked like. So Colton Herbert, that's the guy that got into him. Drove it in there, got into Tucker, spun him straight out. 36 of Stephen Gaines, absolutely nowhere for him to go, but Gaines looks like he's going to continue on the speedway. It looks like actually Gaines is down pit road along with Mr. Tucker. And Tucker has called it a night, folks. As quick as it started, Mr. Tucker is out. So Kendall Tucker will get credited for 24th this evening. But don't shy away from the fact, though, folks, is up front. It has been a dandy up front with Evan C. and Devin Morgan. They have put on a huge race up front. Chase Barbara, who was right behind them, just ready to pounce on the least little bit mistake from either one of them. Barbara right behind them. Barbara, the one that I picked from 5th to 3rd. We'll see if he can go 2 spots more and make me a believer and get the win here tonight at Eldora. But like I said, folks, we still got a long ways to go, over 40 laps left in this thing. But anything is possible. But they're showing some good speed at the start as the green flag is out. Morgan up top on the gas, C down on the bottom. Eddins goes all the way to the top. Barbara's still stuck on the bottom with Evan C. Here comes C's teammate Blake Majulis down on the bottom, trying to find a way around them all. Caleb Durgan looking to the inside of Majulis, nothing there. Up front, Morgan still has it. Now James Eddins goes around Evan C, so put C back to 3rd and maybe even go back to 4th as Barbara's up top, trying to make the top lane work. Eddins gets a run, sends it into turn 3. Eddins to the lead, but Devin Morgan slides right by him. So Morgan to take the lead once again. Barbara's still trying to hold on to 3rd over Evan C. See, he's got his teammate Majulis right behind him. Durgan on the bottom trying to fight Majulis for that 5th spot. As Eddins and Morgan throwing haymakers at one another up front. But Morgan still has it. Eddins 2nd, Barbara 3rd, C 4th, Majulis 5th, and we got a caution on the speedway. Wow. Hard racing right here, folks, by all of these drivers. Wow, somebody gets the spin cycle back here in the pack. That's Howard Weaver getting spun around right there. Looks like it was a little bit of a, maybe somebody drove in a little bit hard and spun him around, but Carter looks pretty good, to be honest with you. So maybe no harm, no foul. But great racing here at Eldora this evening. As we got James Eddins that's up here now, going to be occupying that 2nd spot. Barbara's going to be 3rd. Evan C 4th. Majulis will be 5th. And C and Majulis, both of these guys, I mean, you know, for as far as Monday nights, they have had very good success. I mean, C leading in the butt kicker World Championships in the Butt Kicker World of Outlaws Late Model Series. leading into points in that. Majulis done very well at Williams Grove. Matter of fact, won that race. So these guys, they do pretty good on Monday nights, but Sunday night seems like they just trying to hold on, if you will. It's basically every single, it seems like every Sunday night they kind of show up to the Devin Morgan show. At least that's what it looks like every single Sunday night. So we'll see if anybody's got anything for our point leader tonight. Remember, Devin Morgan come into tonight 29 points over Chase Barber. Barbara sitting in third right now by timing and scoring. Pace truck looks like it's fixing to pull in. Pace lights is out. Leave them back in the field, or leave the field back in the hands of Mr. Devin Morgan. Pace truck's off. Morgan back on the gas. So we are rolling once again here at Eldora. Edits tries to pull the slider, not able to do it. Morgan straight back down to the bottom. Morgan will take the lead right back. Now Barbara down on the bottom. He's going to try to see if he can get that bottom lane to work. Here comes Evan C. up to the top. Got his teammate Majulis right behind him. 3 wide for second as C goes all the way down to the bottom. Almost gets hooked. And Barbara's going to go around. Chase Barbara goes around. It's going to bring out another caution on the speedway. And as hard as these guys were racing, folks, you can see it happening. It's Barbara, he gets stuck 3 wide. Eddins on the outside. And then really there was just nowhere else for Majulis to go. Just straight up came in and just kind of got him in the back end and just spun him out. Wow, hard hit right here by Chase Barbara. You're going to see it right here on the instant replay. You see Barbara slides up in the middle right here. Here comes C down on the bottom. Gets the run right here. Eddins all the way up top, and then right here 3 wide. Beautiful seam, but it does not end well for Barbara. C slips up just a little bit, gets into Barbara, and then Majulis right behind him. Barbara tries to check up. Majulis straight into the back of him and sends Mr. Barbara around. Tough night for Barbara. And I'll, folks, just be honest with you, I bet you he's cussing me right now because I picked him. He's got to be doing that right now because I picked him. That commentator's curse. Should have picked somebody from the back of the field or somebody that wasn't even in the feature. That's probably what I should have did. But anyway, Barbara's still down pits. Pace truck is going to be off right here as they're going to leave it back for Morgan. And James Eddins is Morgan back on the gas. Eddins down low. We're green once again at Eldora. Eddins tries to pull the slider, not able to do it once again as Morgan's going to get the run, jump back below him. A couple of guys getting stacked up back here on the back of the field. But 3 wide for second once again as Majulis is now going to be in the middle. Eddins up top. Evan C down to the bottom. And here comes Matthew Selby from 17th to 5th. Selby came to play with the big dogs this evening. The Bulldog in the doghouse up top from Evan C. As Majulis trying to hold on to that 3rd spot. It's going to allow Morgan to try to slip away ever so slightly. As Selby goes down to the bottom, tries to see if he can make the slip slide past on Majulis. And here comes C back down to the bottom, going to see if he can try to get the run to try to get around Selby. Remember, folks, Selby started 17th up to 4th. couple of other guys that are having very good runs this evening. Nick Baum started 22nd all the way up to 8th. Robbie Buchanan Jr. 23rd to 9th. These guys, they got through in B mains. Buchanan Jr. and Nick Baum started at the back, had to go through the B mains, went through everything. And here they are inside the top 10, has a shot to get it done here tonight at Eldora. Majulis getting a lot of pressure from Selby as you see a lot more hard racing back here at the back. There's battles all over the place, folks. So much great talent, so much superstar status here in the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series. Evan C. back here trying to hang on to 5th if he can. As Baum's still trying to claw his way. He's all the way up to 7th now. And how about Caleb Durgan started 11th and he's up to 6th. So a lot of guys getting big time movements going on as we are just past halfway in the 50 lap feature. Durgan trying to fight off Dylan Wilson. Wilson started 2nd, he's down to 8th. But Morgan enjoying about a 2/10 of a second lead. It was growing, but now it is shortening up as the heat is on now. Eddins up his back bumper, is Majulis, and Selby right behind all 3 of them. About a 1.5 seconds back to Evan C. sitting there running in the 5th spot. Good night for him. I know he would love to get a top 5 and just get out of Eldora in one piece. But up front, Majulis trying to find a way, if any way, to try to get around Eddins. Majulis may have something for Mr. Morgan as here comes Selby, takes a look down to the bottom, not able to do it. Top 4 guys have broken away from the rest of the field. That being Morgan, Eddins, Majulis, and Selby. All of them very comfortable running right up on the top side. But folks, we've seen what sliders can do. We've seen guys pull sliders in heat races and B mains here this evening to get where they can get it. Sure enough, here he goes. Selby down to the bottom, slip slide straight up in front of Mr. Majulis. So put Selby up to 3rd, Majulis back to 4th. Selby gonna try to get back to Eddins and just leapfrog him 1 spot at a time. That's opened up Evan C. to get back in the middle of this battle. Nick Baum back here trying to hold on to a very impressive run. 22nd up to 6th. I believe he is the biggest mover of the race. As up front, Eddins and Selby starting to beat a little bit of fenders in. Selby's going to leapfrog once again. Selby up to 2nd. Now Eddins goes back down to the bottom. They're going to fight it out right here for 2nd, right behind Morgan. Door to door, wheel to wheel, Selby jumps back up in front of Eddins. Gets back to that 2nd spot. The little engine that could, I guess you could say, the Bulldog Matthew Selby, 17th. Now he's up to 2nd. Does he have anything for Devin Morgan? Does Selby have anything for him and stop this dominance that Devin Morgan has had the past couple of weeks? Morgan gets into the fence just a little bit. Selby trying to fight back hard on the top. You see this battle going on right behind them. James Eddins and Blake Majulis. Evan C. actually able to get past both of them. So move C up to that 3rd spot. Eddins back to 4th, Majulis to 5th. And up front, Selby's trying to go for it. tuck of luck, wasn't able to make it stick as we are at 10 laps to go, folks. Selby right on the back bumper of Mr. Devin Morgan. These two trying to separate themselves from Evan C. and Blake Majulis. They are catching a little bit of lap traffic right here. Trevor Fitz is the one that's going to be the lap car that they're going to have to deal with right here. Fitz running on the bottom. Morgan going to be up top. Selby will follow up top. Selby not trying to burn his stuff up that much as here comes C. C took a shot to the inside and fell back in line. So C's going to hold down third. But all eyes are on the battle right here. As Selby right up the back bumper of Morgan, putting the pressure on him right here. The Bulldog's going to take one shot. Will he make it stick? Slide straight up in front of Morgan. Morgan takes a shot right back down to the bottom. Hard racing here for the win at Eldora. 5 to go down the backstretch. Morgan still has it. Morgan gets into the fence just a little bit. Selby right behind him. C right behind them. It's Blake Majulis just trying to hold on to fourth the best that he can. Top three have started to separate themselves big time from the rest of the field. As we are coming right here, 3 laps to go. If Selby wants a shot at winning here in the Mission 22 Super Late Model Dirt Series, he's got one shot and he's got to make it count right here with Devin Morgan. Here comes C. C's going to take a shot down to the bottom. 2 to go. As Selby gets a little bit sideways, almost gets turned by C. But Bulldog going to go all the way back down to the bottom. White flag this time. C and Selby starting to battle. That's all Morgan needs to see. And coming off into turn number 3. Selby takes one last huge dive. Gets right up to the back bumper. Not enough. Your winner, once again, 2 weeks in a row, the 112 entry of Mr. Devin Morgan. Wow, hard finish right there. Hard racing and good clean racing by everybody in the feature. Great driving by them all. Devin Morgan gets the win. Matthew Selby, the Bulldog, will get second. 17th to second, by the way. Evan C. will get third. Blake Majulis fourth in our hard charger. Nick Baum 22nd all the way up to 5th. Ryan Underwood, 18th to 6th. James Eddins will finish where he started in 7th. Dylan Wilson dropped a couple of spots down to 8th. Robbie Buchanan Jr., 23rd to 9th. J.D. Brown will finish 10th. Desmond Busby, 11th. Ethan Toter, 12th. Tanner Tomasi, 13th. Colton Zimmer, 14th. Bob Klein, 15th. After a hellacious B main to be able to get into this bad boy. He still gets a top 15 out of it. Howard Weaver 16th, Jaden Anderson 17th, Stephen Gaines 18th, Trevor Fitz 19th, Caleb Durgan will be 20th, Hayden Carwell 21st, Chase Barbara 22nd after the accident that he had. Colton Herbert and Kendall Tucker. That's going to put a dent in Chase Barbara and Kendall Tucker's points after Eldora. But see if we can pull some of these guys up in the booth. I believe we have our 3rd place finisher in the booth with us here this evening, Mr. Evan C. Evan C., you got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Evan, I'm telling you, I mean, just great racing all the way around here at Eldora. Just tell us about your night, bud.
Yeah, we had a pretty good night, and I think winning that heat race set us up pretty good in in the feature, it's still a bit off in queue, but still got the heat win, and some pretty good racing in the feature there for pretty much all 50 laps, and we just kind of didn't move up to the top quite as soon, and got passed by a few cars, but I think that helped us out in those last 10 laps. I felt like we were really good, and we just couldn't do a whole lot with Devin and Selby was saying nose to tail. I couldn't really do anything there, but just follow them and hope one of them they start battling, or I can get around them if they make a mistake. But overall, it's still a pretty good race for us, and we'll take and see what we learned tonight, and see if we can get a little bit better for tomorrow.
And Evan, the past couple weeks seems like, we haven't really talked to you that much because of some of the finishes just haven't lined up for you here on Sunday nights. Getting a third place finish tonight, does that? That's got to give you a lot of momentum going into the final two races of the season, and oddly enough, also give you some momentum going into tomorrow night for the World Outlaw Butt Kicker Series.
Yeah, definitely helps us out for tomorrow night, being able to do all 50 laps and not get wrecked and lap one in the race like we have been the past couple of times in WOTEL. So, but that's we use this night to test and figure out what we can do, and to get a little bit faster for Mondays. And tonight was a pretty good night for us, and I feel like we can still improve upon the speed we had tonight and be a little bit better for tomorrow.
All right, well, Evan C. getting third tonight. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs, bud.
Yeah, just gotta thank everyone at CFME Sports, Magility Speed Shop, Tattoo Defense, Captain Morgan, Sweet Victory, and just gotta thank Steven and everybody at WOTEL for putting this on for us, and obviously y'all guys for broadcasting.
Gotta love that Captain Morgan. I know we talked one time. It ain't the Captain Morgan that I was thinking about, but still, gotta love old Captain Morgan. Evan C. getting third tonight. Congratulations on your run, and good luck tomorrow night, bud.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that was the third place finisher, Mr. Evan C. And folks, I know I've talked to this guy on PlayStation, I guess you could say. Always done some fantastic things on the dirt side, as well as on the NASCAR side, on the PlayStation side. We got the Bulldog, if you will, the Bulldog, Mr. Matthew Selby. Matthew Selby, it's Jake Reeves. You got a copy, buddy.
What's up, Jake the Snake?
Yeah, what's up, buddy? Heck, it's been a while, brother. It's been a while. Yeah, absolutely. Been a very good while. But man, I've seen you come up through the ranks over here on iRacing, especially in the dirt series. You've been putting down some serious finishes and everything else, and then you come out here tonight here at Eldora and go toe to toe with the points leader, Devin Morgan. What more could you have done to get past Devin right there?
Wrecky, my guess, man. I tried everything in the world that I could to get around him, and I wasn't gonna be able to do it clean. He found something up there in 3 and 4. He was trying different lines and stuff, and I was committed top. It's what I've ran all week here running officials and stuff, and just he found something where he could tap that right rear off the wall a little better than me in 3 and 4, and he started to pull me out of 3 and 4. We were a little better 1 and 2, but I had to be better in 3 and 4 to get around him. You can't slide in 1 and 2 and make any ground up of it. I just, I threw everything I had at him and a little bit more, but it just wasn't meant to be tonight, I don't guess. It's been a long while since I've been able to get up in here and do an interview, but it feels good to finally be back.
Well, you put on a hell of a finish. Started 17th all the way to second. Tell folks about this because, to me, personally, obviously you're better at dirt than I am. Hell, you was better at it on PlayStation than I was. But, just tell folks about, Eldora and just the characteristics of how this track is, because y'all made it look so easy out there, just hauling ass around the top and just rolling.
There's one thing that's always tried and true about Eldora. Eventually, it's going to be up on the wall. It may stop. It may start on the bottom somehow or another, just like it did tonight. And it just you got to be good up top, and if you can get around the top good and hit it consistently and not hit the wall, kind of like last build, I was a little bit little bit worried every time I went up top. This build, I feel like I can really get it up there and get the right rear right next to it, because it don't seem like you've got to just hit the wall every single corner to be fast anymore. So, it's just getting laps in up top here at least, because it's going to be up there. You can be mediocre to bad on the bottom and still have a good run when you're up top. So.
Well, bud, I'm gonna tell you right now, you put on a show right there. Come up one spot short tonight, but before we let you go, bud, go ahead and give us your shout outs.
Man, honestly, even though they ain't a sponsor of mine, I first got to thank Moza, Simrils. I'd struggled for a little bit on my fan attack, thinking something was wrong, and I went out and bought a Moza, and went out and won my first race on it, and we've been running a whole lot better ever since. So I got to shout out Moza first off. Got to thank all the boys at CFM. Blake Majula, 7C. It's been a rough past year or so since I've been able to run up front and be consistent and be fast, and feels good to do it again. It's all because of those boys and those two guys right there. They've done a whole lot for me, and I appreciate it. Them and Chris Ferguson, for bringing me on board on CFM. Shout out to him, man. And all he does for the sim racing community as well. I got to thank my mama as always watching. Got to thank Stephen McMillian for putting this deal on every week, and it's always been a blast to run WOTEL. We've always been a tried and true supporter of it, and we continue to be. Thank y'all for putting on the broadcast, man. Appreciate it, and thank y'all, man. Thank you, Jake, for cheering me on every week. I've been watching the broadcast.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy, that we start out on PlayStation and here we are on iRacing. I'm announcing you're out here kicking ass on the dirt, man. Awesome to see it. But, Matthew Selby coming home second tonight. Congratulations on the run. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, as we're going to be off next week. We'll see you at Lincoln.
See you, man.
A little bit of history right there, folks. Me and him go way back just a little bit. Some of our earlier days before we got on iRacing. So we had some, I guess you could say, some racing careers as far as PlayStation goes before we got here. But enough about that history lesson. Let's get to the man that has. I'll just be honest with you. I'll just go ahead and call it. This is the Devin Morgan show. Uh, by now, honestly, Devin Morgan. This is Jake Reeves. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you loud and clear.
Well, Devin, it seems like we kind of have this little talk every single week. It seems like it, honestly. Always getting the win. Hell, what's your secret? I know you don't want to give it away, but hell, is there any secret that you can give away by just going out here and winning every week, man?
I mean, just great sets, and I guess this build just kind of fits my driving style. Just being able to drive straight and kind of save tires, which tonight wasn't as easy as I liked. It it came from one hell of a challenge from Selby, and then Evan got there right at the end, and I just had to go earlier than what I wanted to with Eden's just going full bore, and I didn't want to lose the track position, and I didn't want to lose the lead there, and Uh, but everything just kind of fits into my style on this build, so it just all clicks together.
And Devin, the points got updated. Obviously, Chase Barber getting caught up in an accident early. You actually grew your points lead over Chase Barber. Are we thinking championship? Thoughts here, or is it too early to tell right now?
No, I'm not thinking about that at all. I have a life unlike a lot of these kids, so I'm gonna go race a street stock at Cherokee next weekend for I believe 2 grand or something like that. So yeah, no, I ain't worried about no championship on no sim. If I decide to go back to Pro Series, that's something else. But this is just for fun for me, and come out here and run.
Run for you, kicking everybody's tail. I'll give you that. But anyway, Devin Morgan getting the win here tonight at Eldora. Devin, you know what to do, bud. Give me your shout outs.
Yeah, again, I gotta thank my mom, my dad, BKP Art, MPM Marketing. I gotta thank Elite Performance Industries, sets on the website fast as ever. I gotta thank Duct Tape Racing, D1RT, D Will, all them guys, all the help. ML Performance. I gotta thank y'all for broadcasting, and War of Thunder for the league to for us to race at.
Well, Devin Morgan gets the win here tonight. Buddy, congratulations on the win. Have you a good off week this coming weekend, and we'll see you at Lincoln.
Yes, sir.
That was Devin Morgan getting the win once again this season. That's 5 wins for him on the season after he gets the win here at Eldora. But now we're going to talk to a guy that we don't normally get to talk to. This driver, we haven't really talked to him all season, but he is the Hard Charger Award tonight. Mr. Nick Baum coming from 22nd all the way up to 5th. Nick Baum, do you have a copy, buddy?
I'm here.
Well, Nick, I'm telling you, I mean, you had to do it the hard way. I'll just be honest with you. You had to do it the hard way. Went through, was in the very last heat. Started 3rd in that. Then you got 5th. Then you started 4th in the first B main. Then you get 3rd. Then you're starting all the way in the back, go to 5th. I mean, damn, you had to have a rocket up under you tonight, bud.
Yeah, I for sure did, and it's all thanks to the guys at D1RT. They Dylan Wilson, Devin Morgan, Desmond Busby, Matthew Logan, all them guys. There's a whole bunch of people that are part of it, but that's just a few who just helped me out a ton. And they know more about this iRacing setup and all on this new build and more than I ever will, and it's just all thanks to them.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, you're sitting 5th and everything else. Was you waiting on a caution to be able to try to mix it up and try to get back up over Majulis and seeing those guys, or was you just tickled to get 5th? I'm assuming you wanted a caution to get back in the mix.
I wouldn't have been against the caution thinking about it now. I really wasn't thinking about it while I was racing. I was just thinking, man, I have not had this good of a run in probably damn near a year, it feels like. But I was just rolling, and I was just thinking, all right, just be content with 5th. It's better than what you've been running. I've struggled a lot here lately. I went from towards the end of last year, running pretty good in World of Thunder, and now I can't even make the features hardly anymore. But it's a new learning process, and I'm slowly getting better. It just takes time.
Takes time like a fine wine. That's the way I look at it right there, Nick. I mean, I've been in those situations where you're just comfortable getting a spot after you just struggled so long. But I mean, awesome to see you right there have basically you done it the hard way here tonight to get a top 5. So, with that thought in mind, Nick, go ahead and give me your shout outs, bud.
I want to thank you guys for putting the broadcast on, Steven and everybody for putting the league on. They do a good job. I know it ain't easy putting a league on, and especially with the guys that are the high competition in this league. So thanks to them. I want to thank D1RT. Like I said, everything they do, it's all them. I'm just holding the steering wheel. But I want to thank Klein's Brand Source, Hooker Harness, CC Food Marts. They all help me out a ton.
Like we're gonna have you a nickname, to be honest with you, coming into Lincoln in 2 weeks. Nick, it's gonna be Nick Hardway Baum. How about that?
Hey.
That's the nickname I'm gonna go with you for the rest of the season.
Let's get it. Hopefully we can do it again at Lincoln for you.
Hopefully get you a win. How about that?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Devin Morgan, he's gonna be hard to stop. He's been real good.
All right, Nick. Well, congratulations on the top 5 tonight, buddy. Have you a good off weekend, very safe off weekend next weekend. We'll see you at Lincoln.
Thank you.
That was Nick Baum, got the hard charger. Like I said, basically done it the hard way, as I said earlier in the interview. Got some points I want to try to get y'all updated with real quick. Devin Morgan, obviously, with the win tonight, Devin Morgan, he's going nowhere with the points. Actually, he's going to grow that points lead with Chase Barber getting caught up in an accident. Morgan got 711 for the total. Chase Barber 637. JD Brown actually closed that gap just a little bit more. Brown will be 3rd, Tucker 4th, Dylan Wilson 5th, Logan Rumsey, even though he was not here with us this evening, he will be 6th in the points. Stephen Gaines, James Eddins, Evan C., and Caleb Durgan. And folks, something else to keep in mind right here about Devin Morgan. He's no stranger to getting championships. He was actually the season 9 Super Late Model champion 13 seasons ago. So it is possible to have a little bit of a repeat, I guess you could say, have a two-time champion right here in Devin Morgan. But we'll find out in 3 weeks, because next week we are off for Labor Day, and then we will be rocking and rolling at the Lincoln Speedway. Want to give a last quick shout out to our sponsors: Tri-City Speed, DirtFan.com, Studio 10 Wraps, WOTEL, the World of Thunder Esports League, and as always, Mission 22 for the title sponsor of the league. My name is Jake Reeves with Adam Fligger on the controls. Also want to thank Steven and Brett for all they do with the WOTEL group and everything going on. We want to congratulate Devin Morgan winning here at Eldora this evening. This has been a production of Ultimate Dirt TV. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Everybody be safe on your Labor Day weekend. We'll see you at Lincoln.